Calypso, for time. Every time I find myself thinking of committing some dreadful crime. I've done many muddy waters to cross over. It's been hard. Find my way home. Find the rhythm in love as I travel along. When it's all over, sometimes I scream and I holler to myself. I said, get me somebody, and I said, hold my ancestors, hold my ancestors. Love is my foundation.
I hear a song, I hear a cry. Some say it wrong, I can't see why. Cause all I know is when I hear it, it moves me so. I feel a spirit, and I hear Aristotle say, everything must change. So now it changed. Why they acting strange? Tell them take me Calypso music to the mountain. I let every drop of earth hear when I sing. Cause out of them backyards, Calypso rising. Shaking up that old time style, putting on a brand new smile. Rising out of the ghetto of third world stagnation, reaching out for tomorrow with a world vibration. My Calypso, heading for stardom real quick, because it is world news. Hit me with a rhythm, hit me with a rhythm, hit me with a rhythm. This song was born in chains and tears, but it lives on through freedom, yes. No more a voice to please a massa. We can rejoice. We cross the river, and I hear Andre Daleman. The colonialism reduces culture, the folklore and become not my guy. So take me Calypso music to the mountain, and let every drop of earth hear when I sing. Cause out of them backyards, Calypso rising, shaking up that old time style, putting on a brand new smile. Rising out of the ghetto of third world stagnation, reaching out for tomorrow with a world vibration. My Calypso, heading for stardom real quick, because this is world news. Hit me with a rhythm, Calypso rising, rhythm. Rhythm and blues, jazz and reggae, they pay their dues in the same way. Yet every day they keep evolving more and more ways to stay revolving. And I hear Atakosla say that true genius bears originality and opens up new frontiers. So tell them people, take me Calypso music to the mountain. And let every drop of earth hear when I sing. Cause out of them backyards, Calypso rising. Shaking up that old time style, putting on a brand new smile, rising out of the ghetto of third world stagnation, reaching out for tomorrow with a world vibration. My Calypso heading for stardom real quick because it is world music. Hit me with a rhythm, hit me with a rhythm. Calypso rising, Calypso rising, Calypso rising. Thank you. Calypso rising.
Oh, very good evening, very good Saturday evening to you. Welcome to our edition, our Politics 101 edition, but tonight it's political music. Still politics, political music. Tonight we are launching our reggae and Calypso 101, 101 here on a Saturday evening. Like we to welcome all of you, those of you who have um, decided to join us. Please share the link. Please share the link and let everyone know that we are here. It's Saturday evening, and we are looking at politics and music tonight. Politics and music tonight. That's our edition of Politics 101. It's political reggae and Calypso 101. Good evening to all of you, wherever you're joining us from, whether you're joining us from Guyana or outside of Guyana, or Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago. Good evening to all of you. That's, they say, is the land of Calypso. Of course, all of us in the Caribbean, all our islands or mainland states, we're all Calypso people. But Trinidad has taken it to the other level. So good evening to all of you. If you're joining us from Trinidad and Tobago, welcome to Politics 101, our edition, our music edition, music as politics. Good evening to all of you there in Barbados, BIM, Antigua and Barbuda, Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, Piti, Martinique, and Carriacou. Don't forget that we have to put our mouth right. Good evening to you if you join us from Montserrat, St. Kitts, Nevis. Welcome, St. Martin's. Welcome, St. Martin. Welcome to our Reggae and Calypso 101. Coming in with the song there of Gregory Ballantyne singing Calypso Rising. Calypso Rising. Tonight, we are going to be looking at Calypso. We start off with Calypso, talking about what is Calypso? What is Calypso? What is Calypso? The origins of Calypso, the history of Calypso. We are going to traverse there tonight through song. So please share the link. Please share the link and let everyone know that we are on here tonight on Politics 101. Tonight we're talking political music. Someone is saying, God, are the days of lyrics, like everybody, everybody vote for the cup and the likes. Yes, One of the hallmarks of Calypso is always the lyrics. The lyrics. The lyrics. The lyrics. Very, very, very important. Of course, Calypso is the mother music of the English-speaking Caribbean. All our other musical forms come from the Calypso. The Calypso is the mother music of our Caribbean, a music that arose during the period of plantation slavery. It was, of course, a music of resistance, against oppression. And so it is the mother music. It is the mother music. Reggae, which is of recent vintage. Reggae emerged in the early 1950s, first as ska, then later as rocksteady, then what we know as reggae, and then now as dancehall. And then, of course, we have bringing them all together. But Calypso began on the slave plantation. Now, I grew up next door to a rum shop. Portuguese people, the Coraias, Rubber Coraia. Had a rum shop there, and I grew up there. I grew up next door to that rum shop. And so I was always hearing music, hearing Calypso and reggae, and it was music as entertainment. Until one night, I was listening to the radio. I mean, about early to mid 70s. I was listening to the radio, and somebody named Gordon Rollier was speaking on the radio. I think the program was Night Rider. Ken Cosby used to run that program. And I heard Gordon Rollier talking about the Mighty Sparrow music and playing the Mighty Sparrow music and tracing the history of Trinidad from its independence in 1956 to up to that time in the 70s, using Sparrow's music. And my young mind was captivated because I'd heard music, grew up next to it, and always thought of it as entertainment. But as I listened to Gordon Rollier, it took me to another level to recognize that music was more than just entertainment. And from that day, I began to treat Calypso and reggae music as more than just simply entertainment. The music, of course, has so many functions. Entertainment, of course, is the one that we are accustomed to. But the music also serves the function of historical memory. You know, as African people, as East Indian people, as Caribbean people, we are always reaching for the past to try to understand the past. One of the things that slavery did was to erase our African history from our minds. So emancipation has meant a recapturing and a reclaiming of that history. And the music has helped us to do that. Calypso music, reggae music, help us to reclaim history, remember history, historical memory, function of the music. The music is also a chronicle of events. You name any year, whether it's the 1950s, the 1960s, and you say, what was happening in the society at that time? What was happening in the Caribbean? What was happening in the world? And you can go back to the Calypso of that year, the Calypsos of that year, and they will tell you what was happening at that time. So the music chronicles our history, captures historical moments. The music is also a celebration of achievements, whether it's when our sportsmen and women are doing well, when our cultural icons are doing well, the music captures it. The year Obama was elected as president, you can go back, there's so many calypsos and reggae songs that capture that moment. celebrating of achievement, another important function of the music. The music also serves as a form of rebuke, a form of protest, protesting against injustices, protesting against racism, protesting against class oppression, protesting against authoritarianism, fascism. The music is an important medium for protest. They've said in the Caribbean that Calypso's brought down governments. In 1986, you remember Mighty Gypsy singing Captain, the Ship is Sinking. In that year, the PNM lost power after 30 years, and many said that Gypsy's Calypso had a lot to do with that. In our own Guyana, 1993, the Mighty Rebels singing Desi You Wrong didn't bring down the government, but he influenced people's views on the change of government at that time. 1989, Chalk Dust would sing The Driver Cannot Drive, and they said that that also played an important role in bringing down the NAR government. So the music is a form of political protest. The music is a form of advocacy, advocating for human rights, advocating for Caribbean integration, advocating for democratic government. The music plays an important role advocating for gender equality, racial equality. The music is a form of advocacy. Celebration of our great leaders, whether they're political leaders, cultural leaders, they're captured in song. And so the music plays multiple roles. And as I said, the person who kind of influenced me in the direction of seeing music as politics, as music as more than entertainment, Gordon Roller, a Guyanese professor who taught in Trinidad at St. Augustine campus. He spent his entire teaching life from the 60s, and he died last year. He spent all his time there. And he, for me, is the quintessential scholar of Calypso scholar. There are others now who have taken up that mantle, but I would say Gordon Roller was the person who I would say is the most important Calypso scholar. Born in Guyana, spent his working life in Trinidad, studied the Calypso, made it into an academic endeavor. I had the privilege later on in life of meeting Dr. Roller and meeting him at conferences and sharing ideas. Very important. And so I dedicate this program and this series of programs to the memory of Professor Gordon Roller.
Gypsy's Little Black Boy. The in-house Calypso stage is never devoid of fierce controversy. There was a controversy in 2006 over the two co-elections, all of these things. Then there is political intrusion on the Calypso stage. The nature of the play between political establishments, regimes in office, and the Calypsonian, a self-appointed conscience of the masses. This relationship is as complex as any other on the grand stage. The relationship varies considerably according to the players involved on the sides of both politics and Kaiso. We've long moved from the days of Attila and Tiger, when the protagonists' role were clear. One was either an unambiguous pro-British colonialist or a TNT nationalist with the people's interest at heart. This issue was complicated by the emergence of the PNM, and the intensification of the nationalist cause and discourse. After independence, the political establishment and the Nationalist Party were one and the same. The patron-client drama replaced the simple drama of anti-establishment protest of the late Crown Colony period. Calypso protests remained, but its nature had all but changed. Sparrow's No Doctor No and Pay As You Earn were ultimately both aimed towards reconciling the public to this new phenomenon of taxation. Some commentators have seen even his Get the Hell Out of Here as a celebration of Williams's omnipotence and arrogance, rather than as a satire of a growing dictatorship. But things would begin to turn by 1967-68 with the advent of Chalk Dust and a younger and quite irreverent voice. Chalk Dust would write his own private drama in which he and Dr. Williams star as irreconcilable and seemingly eternal antagonists, something like Sherlock Holmes and versus Dr. Moriarty. This piece of theater collapsed with the death of Williams, though Chalk Dust managed to sustain his role as an anti-establishment singer, targeting the Chambers regime, technocrats working for the government, the French Creoles, petty bourgeois political leadership in a Calypso like We Kinda Leader, and the paralyzed and fractious NAR regime in Chauffeur Wanted, The Driver Cannot Drive. In the decade after Dr. Williams died, he nevertheless found it necessary to invoke the ghost of Dr. Williams from time to time, like Eric Williams really did. Recession, squandermania, corruption. I have these three words here, meaning that they were special, probably, themes on the stage. Calypso and the post-UNC period, 1995 to 2002, there was the emergence of a new wave of hard criticism, what one might call sledgehammer picong from Watchmen. Aloes was a pro-PNM apologist, using words like, he said he used words like chopping beef. He was a butcher by profession. And he's saying his use of language was like when he was chopping a piece of beef. There was a drama of the Calypsonian versus the Prime Minister. Aloes himself wrote that text. And the Prime Minister, of course, jumped into the brew by answering him. Crocro sang as a pro-Afro-Trinidadian apologist whose natural enemies became a character called Shat, and other pro-East Indian apologists like Ramdat Jagasar, he's now abroad, used to be a student of mine, Sham Mohammed, Crocro sang, Jagasar tenor, he sang We Ain't Wanted. Sham Mohammed had expressed the desire to see an Indian prime minister. And then Hulsi Bagan, Respect the Law. Hulsi had said that all the rapes taking place in Central were being done by Afro-Trinidadians. Then Stalin.
Yes, that's Dr. Gordon Rollier giving you there a little sample of Professor Rollier giving a lecture there on Calypso and politics. And of course, as I said, Dr. Rollier had quite a lot of influence on my own attitude to Calypso. So, what is Calypso? You know, how do you define? How do we define Calypso? What is Calypso? Let's listen to how the Calypsonians themselves define Calypso.
It's a living vibration rooted deep within my Caribbean belly. Lyrics to make a politician cringe or turn a woman's body into jelly. It's a sweet soca music. You could never refuse it. It make you shake like a shango. And why the hell you shaking, you don't know. Calypso music.
Bam bam, yeah, bam bam It was a bacchanal, 1950 carnival. Fight for so with invaders and Tokyo. My friend run and left his hat. When they hit him a baseball hat, I have to explain. Still band don't have no riot again. Da 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 did it die like da 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 bam 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 but it start pelting if you see sleds passing. Husband and wife look, they start running for their life. An Indian man selling bread, shout out, Lord, today are dead, never me again. To jump in a steel van in Port of Spain. Hey! La 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 la. Ah ah. Did it die? La 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 la. Calypso to me is dear to my heart. After God, my wife, Calypso.
Every song that they make in America is about love, but we sing from politics to sport to science to whatever, education. It is recorded in Calypso.
Calypsonian is a poor man newspaper. A Calypsonian is the person to tell the people's spokesman, so to speak. He is to let the people know what time is it, what's going on behind their back.
I consider the Calypsonian as the old African storyteller. You know, that guy will go from village to village just spreading the word. And the old African storyteller is just the man that's supposed to go around and keep the good works and the deeds of your heroes alive. Now, to all my fans who want smart, I'm very sorry. But my pleasure does always come second to my duty. And my duty is to make sure that my people life happy. And anytime that thing happen, all out we go jump down Dorothy. Because so much of famine in Ethiopia, I say assassination is going on in India. Anytime we don't have to live with these frightful things around we, yes, I'm going and finish the whole damn Calypso authority. Our tamshi, and she jam me, how we back, and we roll back. But once my people keep fighting for equal share the king, wait, Dorothy, wait.
And a good Calypso is timely and timeless, meaning that it comes right in the nick of time.
Calypso is not just a Caribbean thing. You know, it is a Caribbean music, but it's not ours to own. Music is to be shared for the world.
When Americans say about Calypso, they always say Harry Belafonte. No, Harry Belafonte, people in Trinidad don't know him as no Calypsonian. The real roots of Calypso is right here.
I see the Calypsonian as a concerned villager. A person who would like to see his village improve.
I am like a river overflowing its bank. You try to stop me, I'm going to find room to pass.
So it has a rhythm unto itself alone. It has a native beat, a doo-doo, all or very own. It's a way of life, a way of love. From centuries ago, our folk art, I know, must be Calypso.
I born a Calypsonian, and Calypsonian do be good-looking people. So yeah.
How are good looking?
No, I say they do be good-looking people, but you're just lucky to be one.
Hey, ame, Kosuke ame. Hey, ame,
So there we have it, the Calypsonians themselves defining the Calypso. Defining the Calypso. The Calypso, the Calypsonian, the Calypsonian as a concerned villager. Calypso is a way of life. We all hear culture. When we were going to school, they say culture is a way of life. And here they're saying it's a way of life. Mighty Juke says it's an editorial in song. You know, the editorial in a newspaper. Brigo says, you know, it's the poor man's newspaper. And Juke says it's an editorial in song. David Rudder says, you know, music to make a politician cringe. The music is protest, rebuking politicians, or to turn a woman's body into jelly. He's talking about the entertainment part of the music. The Calypsonian is a storyteller. This Calypsonian is a teacher. The Calypsonian is the people's spokesperson. So you see, the Calypso, the music, as I said in the introduction, it has so many functions. And that is why it is in essence political music. It is in essence political music because it plays the function of the political commentator. The Calypsonian can become the historian, can become the teacher, can become the sociologist, telling the story of the society, helping us to make sense of issues such as social class, issues such as race. The music is always telling the story. Now, where did Calypso come from? Where did Calypso come from? Well, the Calypso has its origins in West Africa. The enslaved Africans brought it with them. In West Africa, it was called Kaiso. And that call and response is a West African thing. And so the Calypso has its origins in West Africa. And the enslaved people were able to use it on the plantation as a form of resistance. Black Stalin refers to it as resistance language. So the origins of the Calypso, of course, is in West Africa.
It was a cry of the slaves. That's how Kaiso all started. When the slaves wanted to sing on the master in their tongue, they composed their own little things about the master and sang it. And that's how the composition of Calypso began. It was out of a struggle.
We look at the experience through plantation slavery and Calypso as an art that helped to keep a people and keep their soul together. And it was only through the Calypso that the people, especially the African population, was able to articulate the concerns and the views and the opinions about how the life was going, how the country should be run, how things affect them in personal ways. So Calypso was always that art form to express the political angle as relating to life.
When I was a little fella, growing in my parents' place, I used to see a lot of supper. I had to bow and say make grace. But today, we got some little fella, my friend, they don't know their place. You see, I am walking up and down the street and casting in front of the face. Oh, like if you walking in the dark, like if you walking in the dark. Long as my people respect for man, and how to catch good hell in this land. Walking, like you be walking, as long as got no respect for man, and how to good hell in this land.
The evidence shows that the Calypso harks back to the West African griot singing, whereby people commented on their situations, they commented on their experiences, on their hopes, the aspirations, and the very same thing the griots did in West Africa, we in Trinidad do it.
So raise your head, Mr. African, raise your head. Corrupted elements plotting while you in bed. Oh yeah. Raise your head, raise your head. Wake up, shake up, the dreadful times are ahead. Remember Steve Biko, he died in jail, you know. He fought them oppressors, fakes and brutal murderers. Now they raising sanction, but won't like recuperation. Look, it's time to see that all Africans are free. So raise your hand, Mr. African, raise your hand. Destructive elements plotting while you. Oh yeah. Raise your head, Mr. African, raise up your hand. Wake up, shake up, the dreadful times are ahead.
The Mighty Duke said about Calypso music that it's an editorial in song that describes our life and times. And I feel that this art form is the most unique in the sense that, I know of no other place where people can talk about their mayor, their neighbor, the prime minister.
So then I try to sell Eden Chan an accident policy. I say, Eden, let Carlos pave the savannah. Let him pave the whole city. Eden Chan gone up in the savannah to stop the paving. Lie down on the grass. A truck with hot sun. Nearly bury mother. Accident. You take that from me. Oh, and I do believe everyone should have an accident policy.
To me, the uniqueness of Calypso is that it's the freest form of music in the world. Freest, anything can happen in Calypso. A Calypso is every man's opinion. So if you go to a Calypso tent and you tell each Calypso to write about the war in the Middle East, you'll hear 20 different opinions, 20 different styles, 20 different rhythmic patterns.
Saddam Hussein will get killed by a bomb.
What? In time to come. In time to come.
A lie?
In time to come.
Moving from the dark ages, man has progressed in stages through the stone and iron age till we turn another page and we saw the adventures of Alexander.
When you talk about masculine Calypso, it's a good example because everybody sings rum and Coca-Cola, way down Point Kumana, both mother and daughter working for the Yankee dollar. Everybody sees the rum. Everybody sees the Coca-Cola. But very few people see both mother and daughter working for the Yankee dollar.
When Yankees came to Trinidad, they had all the young girls going mad. But now the Yankees gone back home. Trinidad, they want the rum and Coca-Cola. Go down Point Kumana, both mother and daughter, working for the Yankee dollar. That was the Calypso of long ago, coming from Trinidad.
Oh, yes, if you're just joining us, yes, it's our Saturday edition of Politics 101. Tonight we are talking music, reggae and calypso as politics, reggae and calypso 101. We were looking there at the origins of calypso, And as you heard there, the origins of the music is in West Africa, and it took root on the plantation. So it's really, as we say, the mother music of our Caribbean. The music is more than just about dancing. the music is also about politics. It's also about our history. And we heard them there talking about rum and Coca-Cola. Rum and Coca-Cola. And that song, we take it for granted, they're talking about rum and Coke. But it was more than just rum and Coca-Cola, more than just rum and Coca-Cola. The rum and Coca-Cola are used in the song as a mask for telling a larger story. And what is the story they're telling there? It is a story of prostitution. When the Americans came during the war at the bases where it was Acton Field or the base in Trinidad, they came and, of course, they encouraged prostitution. Sparrow, rose to fame with Gene and Dinah, singing about that phenomenon of how the coming of the Americas with their rum and their Coca-Cola and its impact on prostitution in our countries. That's what the old rum and Coca-Cola and Gene and Dinah is about. So the rum and Coca-Cola is used there as the mask for telling the story of prostitution in the society.
Going down Point Kumana, both mother and daughter, working for the Angela.
He's singing therefore about while people drinking rum and Coca-Cola and having a good time, Americanism is breaking up the family life of our people. Both mother and daughter working for the Yankee dollar. He's singing of prostitution.
The root and the soul of Calypso would always be the voice of the people. It would always be an art form that would paint a picture and tell a story and establish documents of history for our people and for humanity in general.
Trinidad is my land, and of it I am proud and glad. But I can't understand why some people just talk it.
So there we have it. The music as a mask to tell the storytelling in Calypso, and using the music to talk about it. Reference was made in the conversation there to the Mighty Duke, what is a Calypso? And he said the Calypso is an editorial in song. And there's not a song that defines Calypso better than that Calypso by the Mighty Duke. Kelvin Pope, 4-time winner of the Calypso Crown, 1969, 70, 68, 69, 70, 71. 4 times, no other Calypsonian has done it. Kelvin Pope, the Mighty Duke, singing What is Calypso? If you're looking for a Calypso that defines the music, it is that Calypso. What is Calypso by the Mighty Duke?
Ladies and gentlemen, 1968, 1969, 1970, and 1971. Grandstand, North Stand. Can you please welcome Mr. Kelvin Pope, the Mighty Duke?
What is Calypso? You don't really know. I don't think you know what is really Calypso. Words, so here we rhyme and sing, is only half the thing. You must admit that in this world nothing quite like it. It is a feeling which comes from deep within.
times a tale of joy, sadness and suffering. It's an editorial in song of the life that we undergo. That and only that I know is true Calypso. Now you must admit, there is nothing quite like it. From West Africa, they brought our forefathers who used to toil as slaves in the fields all day. But while they did, they chanted their own love way about how Master treated them bad. And so Calypso began here in Trinidad as a rhythm unto itself alone. It has a native beat, all of very own. It's a way of life, a way of love. From centuries ago, our folk art, I know, must be Calypso. Oh, 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 oh. Of Calypsonians, there are different opinions. We sing smarties, but with that, I cannot agree. If Calypso is smart, you have to answer this. What was Shakespeare's Venus and Adonis? Yet, no one made a fuss. Don't try to point your finger at us. Because we sing you things that you seldom say. And what I mean is we bring you events of the day. Anybody business, we come right here and we let you know. Move along as it sounds. That is Calypso. Oh yeah. Names like Attila, Sparrow, Duke, and Kitchener. We have fought a long way to bring it where it is today. Now, did the name Calypso is in dispute by those who know our history beyond review. Some say it's African, French, but I know Trinidad is the land of the Calypso. A child, 5 years ago, the first thing you'll hear it sing is a Calypso. So we must be proud and glad of what nations wish they had. Calypso, Calypso, Calypso is the culture of Trinidad. Oh, oh, ba-da-da-da. Oh, 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 oh.
The mighty Duke there, what they call this a sartorial, is referred to as perhaps the best dressed calypsonian of all time. Really, when he took to the stage. What is Calypso? What is Calypso? Definition of Calypso. That Calypso is a classic, and he defines Calypso as coming as a feeling from deep within, a feeling from deep within. It's not a surface thing. David Rudder would say in his Calypso music, which we listen to shortly, that it comes from deep within my Caribbean belly. A feeling that comes from deep within. So this thing is not chat. It's a feeling from deep within. When we Caribbean people, when we Guyanese people, when we talk about that feeling from deep within, that's where he says the music comes from. It's an editorial in song. We talked about his definition. An editor. Imagine a newspaper editorial, and a Calypso is like an editorial. an editorial in song. It tells about sorrow and pain and joy. All the elements of our emotions comes through the music, comes through the music. It talks about the origins of the music in West Africa. And then it comes on the plantation and how they used to lave on the massa. That is a story by itself. You know, on Saturday afternoons like this, they would allow the enslaved people to go out in the fields and have a little party. Now that was eventually a smart thing on the farm, on the part of the masters. You see, in the Caribbean, unlike places like the United States, the slave population was the majority population, because remember, the slave owners were absentee slave owners. So you had few white people on the plantation. And so here there were a few white people who were enslaving black people. And so, they had to, what they call ease and press. On the one hand, the Caribbean was regarded as one of the harshest places. And you can understand why they were harsh, because they wanted to ensure that the enslaved people did not rebel. So they used to send slaves from the United States to Jamaica, for example, to be disciplined if they had a quote unquote bad slave. They would send them to Barbados or so. And so in the Caribbean, we had both harsh enslavement, but we also have a give and take. So Saturday afternoon, they would go out and have the party, the bush rum, and that's where that bush rum story comes from. And they would cook and sing and dance. The drums were allowed to some extent on some of the plantations. And there's the story in Guyana of, the enslaved people. One afternoon, they cook guana, and the slave driver was passing and smell it, said the thing smelled nice, and they give him the thing to eat. And they make a song right there on him, and he didn't know they were singing on him, Bakrajan in Yam Guana, Metem Kwende, oh, Bakrajan in Yam Guana, Metem Kwende, they Metem the Guana, Guillaume for eat, and he eat, and they make the song right there on him. And that's how they used to sing the Calypso. They make Calypso on them, Bakrajani, come out here. Bakrajani, come out here. They must sing Panamini. They're just the music creating that new language. And of course, Duke talks about them referring to smut in Calypso. Well, in every music there is smut, but the Calypso is more than smut. More than smut. And often when they sing this smut, it was masked, but they call the double attach. The double attach. Oh, Sparrow was a master at that double attach story. You have to listen to Sparrow carefully sometimes. I grew up as a small boy, and he lick you down and they cuff you down, and singing about spousal abuse of women, and how you lick them down and broke them down, and they love you eternally, and you're singing and you're hearing they love you eternally, but in the end, Sparrow say, and then they leave you eternally. And you have to listen carefully to recognize what the Calypsonian is doing. And so he said it's not just smut, it's more than just a smut. Calypso is about opinion. People giving their opinion. So the Mighty Duke defining Calypso as not a one-dimensional music, but it's a music that covers the gamut of the human experience of the Caribbean people. Let's go to another song, another calypso that brings the music. And this is David Rogers, Calypso music.
Time. So, ladies and gentlemen, would you please put your hand together? No stranger in the house. 1986. Triple Crown winner. The man who gave us Bacchanal time. Rally around the West Indies. Full CX. And this year what you tell us? I say go down. I am moving. Would you please? Calypso music. Aristocrat posse. Put your hand together. Let's welcome David, Michael, Runner. David Runner. David Runner. Good night.
Can you hear a distant drum bouncing on the laughter of a melody? What? Does the rhythm tell you come, 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 come? Does your spirit do a dance to this symphony? What? Does it tell you that your heart is a fire? Oh yeah. Does it tell you that your pain is a liar? Oh yeah. Does it wash away all the unlovely? Oh yeah. Well, are you ready for a brand new discovery? Everybody sing, sing. Calypso, Calypso, Calypso music. Yeah, yeah. Calypso, Calypso, yeah, yeah, yeah. Calypso, the rhythm make you feel alright. We gonna jam it through the night. We singing, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, Calypso. Can I have a Monday? Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, Calypso. I say that I am the seed of the growing tiger. I got to sing, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, Calypso, well, yeah. Oh! It is a living vibration rooted deep within my Caribbean belly. Lyrics to make a politician cringe or turn a woman's body into jelly. I tell you, shake it, mama, yeah. Sweet soca music, Calypso, well, you could have never refuse it. Calypso, no, no. Make you shake like a shango, Calypso. Why the hell you shaking? You don't know that is Calypso. Everybody sing, Calypso, Calypso, Calypso music. Oh, God, oh, God, Calypso, oh, God, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, Calypso, oh, oh, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, Calypso. I said that I am the seed of this pine. I was born. I wanna come on. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, Calypso, oh yeah. Oh, Baba, memories now. I can still hear lion roar through Greenwich Village. Executor kills them dead at the ribbon blue. Yes. Lord Invader conquers Poland, but their hearts is dying. Lord Kitchener making old London feel so new. Lord Beginner and Terror too. Fitzroy Coleman fingers dancing on the bread. And when you think that it's true, he has started nothing yet. Carnegie Hall, graced by the presence of Sparrow. And when Sparrow done with the tail, yeah, them shouting, don't go, Sparrow, don't go. Why? You're damn right. I say you're damn right. I say you're damn right. You're damn right. Damn right. Damn right. Oh, you're damn Calypso. I say that I am to see love this spider. That's why I say, I wanna fall. Oh yeah. Caribbean people, we got the rise. We got the rise. From the time the first bamboo cut, and we drag it down from up in them St. Anne's Hills. Oh, you hear me? You hear me? From the day the first shot will lead the band. The red jamming start to look tonight. We jamming, and we jamming it still. Creating a rhythm that could be deadly like Headley. But only this time, it's the lyric and the melody rest and then the soul to the boundary. Yeah. From the bongo drum to the roll of the tassa. Whenever since Europe come and she make bassa. We jamming it with them. Calypso. Calypso music, Calypso, Calypso, yeah. Calypso, the rhythm make you feel alright. We gonna jam it through the night. Oh yeah.
David Michael Rudder, Calypso music, a living vibration, music to make a politician cringe or to turn a woman's body into jelly. Oh, he talks about internationalization of the music. Oh, Sparrow, Grace Carnegie Hall, and when Sparrow done with the tale, they're crying. Sparrow, don't go. And Kitchener make London so real. Don't go the internationalization of the music. And we always jamming. Bob Marley talk about jamming. We jamming it. This time, the jamming won't stop until victory comes. So the whole idea of jamming, from the time Europe come and met Bassa, we jamming. From the time we drag down the drums from up in St. Anne Hill, we jamming. And the music is like Headley. This time it's the lyrics that sending the ball to the boundary. The bringing together of cricket, the late George Headley, probably the greatest West Indian batsman, the first great West Indian batsman. And there's the Calypsonian likening the music to Headley. Deadly like Headley. But this time it's the lyrics of the music that's sending the ball to the boundary. The linking of sports and music and history. The Calypsonian helping us to make sense of our lives. And the digga ding, digga ding, digga digga, digga digga, digga digga, digga, the spiritual music, the Shango Orisha music in Trinidad and the Eastern Caribbean, the Fatis song, linking there. And the music of you shake, why you shaking, you don't know. Well, we know about that in the Caribbean. The music send you in a trance, as they say. Why you shaking, you don't know. And so David Rudder there, defining the Calypso as coming from deep within, as having this mythical effect on people. Why you're shaking, you don't know. Calypso music, you can't refuse it. Let's listen to another song that really talks about the Calypsonian and what is Calypso? The function of Calypso. Respect Calypsonian by the mighty Gypsy.
my country proud. Exalt your name with much acclaim, bring you fortune and fame. But back in my homeland I see I'm treated with real scant courtesy. And frankly I don't think that's the way it should be. You should remember me, I who write the songs to make you sit and think. I who write the songs that does tickle you pink. I who sing about love and hate and fictitious themes create. And after all these things I do, and I did it all for you. Well, all I'm asking in my land is more respect for the Calypso. Yeah, that's all. Whoa, 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 yeah. Hey, hey. Uh-huh. I hear you say I stay away for long, and that is true. And it's not to say that I don't like to be at home with you, but my face is not on my TV show, my songs is not on my radio. It breaks my heart to see why you treat me so badly, when you should remember me. I write these songs that champions the poor man's cause. I write the songs that circumvent the laws. From slavery to emancipation, I've made my contribution. After all these things I do, God know I did it all for you. So all I'm begging in my land is more respect for the Calypso. Yeah, that's whoa, 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 yeah. Uh-huh. It's big parades and motorcades for queens who sell my land. And now this day I'm proud to say the same for this sportsman. But don't mind what the Calypsonian do. Don't mind how well I represent you. You still make me feel that me and my art form is cool. But may I remind you, I will write the songs to make you sit and dance. I will write the songs to make you jump, you jump, you jump, you jump and prance. From road march to social commentary, you have always depend on me. And after all these things I do, and I did it all for you. Well, all I'm begging in my land is more respect for the Calypso. Yeah, that's all. No place to sing and do my thing. No, I don't have a hall. And I'm afraid promises made, I never kept that all. So every back street and alley I roam, I have a culture without a home. Those in authority have little regards for me. May I remind them sincerely, I could write a song to make governments strong. I could write a song to bring governments down. I could do it with real humor, but venom like a cobra, and all these things that I could do. So I do it all for you, and all I'm asking in my land is more respect for the Calypso land. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, 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 hey. The Calypsonian. Did I hear somebody say, respect the Calypsonian? Think I heard somebody say, respect the Calypsonian. Like if I hear somebody say, respect the Calypsonian. Calypsonians, we must respect ourselves. Respect the
mighty gypsy there, Winston Peters. Respect the Calypsonian. In case you're joining us, yes, it's Politics 101, but we're doing politics through music tonight on a Saturday night. Calypso and Reggae 101. Welcome to those of you joining us late, but better late than never. We are doing our first show on music, political music 101, political reggae and Calypso. And we've been looking at Calypso tonight, the origins of the music, the definition of the music through song. We just listened there to Gypsy talking about what does the Calypsonian do? I who sing the song to make government strong. I could also sing a song to bring government down. The role of the music is as political protest. We're talking about political protest in Guyana right now. Are we not? Gypsy saying one of the functions of the music is political protest. Is I you sing the song to make you jump and dance and jump and prance? The entertainment function of the music. Is I you champion the poor man's cause from slavery to emancipation to the present? I've always championed the poor man cause. You know, they talk about socialism and communism as, you know, the working class ideology. Well, we have our own Calypso, in a sense, reflecting those ideas, that praxis of representing the poor and the powerless in the societies. Are you circumvent the laws? The Calypsonian can push the envelope, take on the politicians. Respect for the Calypsonian, the mighty Gypsy there. The music as more than just entertainment. As I always say, we in the Caribbean are unique because we dance to political music. Nowhere else in the world people don't do that. When the political music comes on, people sometimes get quiet, understandably so, taking in the lyrics. But in the Caribbean, we get quiet at times, but most of the time, we are dancing to the politics, which means we are able to bring together the entertainment function in the music and the political function of the music. The political function of the music. The history of the music. The history of the music. If there's a Calypso that captures the history of the music, is the one that I'm about to play now by Brother Valentino, the People's Calypsonian, as they call him in Trinidad. Brother Valentino. Where did Calypso go?
1912 in New York City, they record the first Calypso. I love his orchestra, a band from Trinidad. The record could show. This orchestra was led by George Bailey, the musician, not the mass man. The tune was entitled Mango Vet, so Calypso recordings began. In 1914, 2 years later, Julian White Rose and one Jules Sims gave to Calypso its first vocal recordings. In 1921, Railway Douglas opened the first Calypso tent. And from then to now, I keep asking, where the hell the Calypso went? For since in the early 20s, Sargum sponsor Lion and Tiger. Our Calypso music was attracted by a recording company they called Decca. It was recorded before all that jazz and so much other music. But somewhere along the way, Calypso has lost its magic. Just when you feel the Calypso would skyrocket all over the continent, it took a nosedive in the savannah and then back to the friggin' tent. In the early 30s, Calypso reached Harlem's black community. Pioneered by Sir Lancelot, the Duke of Iron and Houdini. Sam Manning, Bill Rogers, the Duke of Marlborough. Not forgetting Gerald Clark and Lionel Velasco. Look how long the Calypso was on the international scene until a man named Molly Amsterdam brought it where the pasture was green. Rum and Coca-Cola, the Andrews sisters said it all. The tune sold 7 million copies, and Lord Invader, he had a ball. $150 US he got for this Calypso, and for composing the melody, Velasco he got something also. Through Amsterdam and the Andrews sisters, Calypso made the hit parade. Now today, the same Calypso catching his ass to make the grade. Cause every day now the people keep complaining Calypso is dying slow. But it's all them Calypso judges and promoters that have it so. Calypso reaching Greenwich Village, Calypso reach all over Broadway. Calypso sold his first million albums through Harry Belafonte. Nat King Cole recorded Calypso Blues in 1948. Chuck Berry recorded Havana Moon. That Calypso was relevant. Robert Mitchum, Rosemary Clooney, the Kingston Trio, Louis Farrakhan. All these people sang the Calypso, Lionel Richie and Bob Dylan. Calypso, it was acknowledged, had an influence on the Motown song. Jamaicans could say, thanks to Calypso, reggae music is still around. A Calypsonian told me a story about Bob, Peter and Bunny recording his Calypso where Sammy Con they sang background vocals for him. Our first independence Calypso king, Lord Rainer, who they sent loco, told me that Bob Marley and the Wailers picked up some vibes from Big Ice. After all these people and places, where the hell did Calypso go? End up in some cheating competition on some plastic image show.
Yes, 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 yes. The Calypsonian there as the historian, the history teacher. You all now know the first Calypso album. What year? 1914. The first Calypso 10th, 1921. You all hear all the people there who sang Calypso, from Lionel Richie to Nat King Cole to Louis Farrakhan. You all knew Farrakhan was a Calypsonian? That was Farrakhan's first big job. Of course, Farrakhan is a son of the Caribbean. His parents are from Jamaican St. Kitts. And he was a Calypsonian in Boston. And the Andrews sisters, rum and Coca-Cola. So a lesson there by Brother Valentino on the history of Calypso, this unique art form. As I said, we are the only people who dance to music and dance to politics or political music. We dance to political music. And it's something that is unique. And we thought that we would do this for you here tonight, to kind of introduce you to the political lyrics of Calypso music. And of course, we are going to continue every Saturday night, God willing. We're going to be looking at Calypso music and reggae music, and looking at the political content of the music. Someone has made a special request. Of course, you can't do a Caribbean Calypso program without playing something by the king, the acknowledged king of them all. And of course, we're talking about none other than Singer Francisco. And so we're going to do a special request, which you may not think is political. But it's political.
This is the story, ladies and gentlemen, about two lovely white women traveling on the way to Africa. Africa, Africa. They found themselves deep in the heart of the Baluba in the Congo. No, had it been me, I would have taken them back to their husbands. But brother was hungry. Hungry. Two white women traveling through Africa. Africa. Find themselves in the hands of a cannibal headhunter. Headhunter. They cook up one and they eat one raw. They taste so good, they want it. We want more. Hi, and the feed one woman. I wish it was me. I want to shake his hand. He eat on the stomach upset. What about you? Never eat a white. You lie. Peeping through the bushes to see what's taking place. There I saw the Congo. Go in to take a little taste. Take a little taste. Open me eye and he start to grin. Rubbing the belly and the bubbly. I wish it was me. I want to shake his hand. He eat on the stomach upset. And I never eat a white. Yabba dabba dabba doya. Yabba dabba dabba doya. Yabba dabba dabba doya. Yabba dabba dabba doya. Ude, ude, ude,
put them to lay down on the ground. Light up the fire and they started dancing round and round. One of the women started to beg. The bite she put in chest and then they catch she put in leg. He eats she raw. Anything Congo man. I wish it was me. I want to shake his hand. He eat on the stomach upset. What about you? Never eat a white meat. You look like you never eat a black meat yet. The next one started screaming with all the voice she got. That's why he lift she up and he put her inside big pot. The water was warm, she started to wiggle. The Congo started to laugh. Giggle.
The mighty sparrow! The mighty sparrow! Oh, if you don't know that Calypso, you're not Caribbean. You're not Caribbean. The Congo man. And some people say, never eat a white meat yet. And you would ask, where is the politics in that, Dr. Hines? Well, that Calypso is dealing with a very touchy and tricky subject, political subject. And that is the question of race relations. Some people thought at the time when Sparrow sang that in the early 1960s, some people felt, well, Sparrow was glorifying white womanhood, the white female body. But there's another interpretation that in a sense what Sparrow is singing there about is the way in which the black body takes ascendancy over the white body, that the black people are now coming into their own. They're not controlled by white people anymore, right? That here are these white women representing the pinnacle of white virtue. But here is this Congo man putting them in their place. So the issue of the power relations and the power struggle between whiteness and blackness comes out in that Calypso. It's not just a Calypso about sex. Sex is used there as the mask to tell a larger story. And this is the 1960s. We are becoming independent. It's the period of black power coming into being. And Sparrow is using sex between the two races to really make the statement about black equality. It is not here about these white women controlling these black men. It was about the black men, the black man asserting his equality. So there is a politics to the music. As I said, some people read Sparrow as glorifying the white female body. But like I said, there is a larger meaning. So the next time you dance to the Congo man, know that you're dancing to politics. You're dancing to politics. The Congo man there, I think the brother who, as I was speaking earlier, made that request for the Congo man. Well, we've been at it now for over an hour, and I would like to thank those of you who have graced us with your presence. We have been talking Calypso tonight, and we have launched our our show tonight is going to be every Saturday night, every Saturday evening at 7 o'clock, usual Politics 101 time. As we say in the Caribbean, Saturday night at 7 p.m. Saturday night at 7 p.m. Love all of you for coming through. Tomorrow night is going to be cricket. The countdown to the World T20 Championship is going to be held in our Caribbean and in the United States of America. It's the great event of 2024. And we are going to be talking about the countdown to the T20 and everything West Indian cricket. Tomorrow night, I think we come on tomorrow night at 6. We come on at 6 tomorrow night. So we come on a little bit earlier, 1 hour earlier, tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. So I want to thank all of you for staying with us tonight. And our first show on political music, political reggae and calypso 101. I'm going to see you all tomorrow night for our cricket show. West Indies Cricket 101. Love you all.
Calypso, Calypso, Calypso music. Oh, God, Calypso.